No, no, I'm just telling you that I'm not. I'm not interested in asinine arguments. Of people who say, "Well, everybody who is smoking weed is going to go crazy." I don't smoke weed, but I understand that weed, cannabis, or marijuana, Indian hemp, as you call it, is an economic crop. And I'm just saying, instead of waiting forever until your oil dries up, why don't you try diversifying it? Invest in growing, let it provide employment, export it, and sell to the rest of the world and make money off of it. Instead of wasting your time debating what the rest of the world has already understood. South Africa has legalized weed, the US, Canada. Where else is left? There's no legalized weed, except the pretenders here who are saying that, oh, they are fighting drug war. And yet you have hordes and hordes of cocaine, heroin entering the country and leaving the country every day. So if for instance, Ondo State, which is my state, can make $1 billion from growing, processing, and exporting weed, yeah, if you get a weed refinery in Ondo State, why would Ondo State be begging the federal government for oil money that is drying up on a monthly basis? Why would Edo State government be begging the Nigerian government for oil money when you can grow weed, cannabis, and make huge amount of money and profit from it?
I'm
The
curious.
problem with
I'm curious.
the problem I
I'm
have,
curious. I'm so
the
sorry.
problem I
I'm
have
so
with
sorry to jump
Nigerian
in.
leadership.
Let
Yes.
me just jump in. I'm curious for all of the most beautiful natural resources that Mother Nature has endowed our country with, and all the great ideas on how to divest away from oil. Cannabis should be a priority. Why?
It's already a priority for countries that are smart,
Yeah,
because
but for
it's not
Nigeria, we
just
have so
weed.
many natural resources. Why
It
should we
is
be
no, I'm
prioritizing
saying it's
cannabis?
not just weed. Medicine. It's medicine. I won't be surprised if you have friends who are using cannabinoid oil. I won't be surprised even you yourself maybe you use cannabis without knowing it. Some of the best hair products are made of cannabis. Do you know that? Did I just tell you that your t-shirt, some of the best t-shirts I've ever worn in my life while I was living in the US, were made of hemp? Are you getting me? So it is not just limited to the 3% THC that everybody is ignorantly talking about. This is an economic crop. With regards to THC and getting high, well, that's with everything. If you drink too much of water, it can kill you. So anybody can abuse anything, including water. But I'm saying, look at the economic benefits of cannabis. Look at what it could do for employment. Look at what it could do for providing jobs, providing extra income for states across the country, and all the good things that it could give for you, treating cancer, for instance, and treating arthritis, and all the great benefits. You should just type in, the benefits of cannabis. There are more products from cannabis than you can get from oil, refining oil. And it doesn't even destroy your environment. Each time you make $1 billion or dollars from crude oil, an entire state is almost ruined. The waters are polluted. It doesn't happen with cannabis, but you can make as much money from cannabis as you can make from exploiting oil.
On the phone, David Folaranmi. David is a former addict who's now helping reform the lives of young people in Nigeria. From the statistics that we have, 40% of young people in Nigeria are addicted to drugs of all kinds.
Is marijuana, is cannabis medicine? Components of the marijuana plant could have medicinal properties. That's correct. That's not the same as medicine. A medicine is when a laboratory extracts the medicinal compound, standardizes it, and doses it. Now, is our guest, Mr. Sowore, saying that the government is actually going to cultivate marijuana in the country and go through this process of extracting just the medicinal aspect of it for commercial purposes? Or we're just going to cultivate tons and tons and acres of marijuana that can be very dangerous to our youth? The term medicinal marijuana is often applied to the whole unprocessed marijuana plant or its crude extract.
But I think the other question is, do we have what it takes to process the marijuana or the cannabis in itself to get to that form where we can call it medicinal? Because I mean,
yes, that's a good question, Mary-Ann. But assuming we even have that, is that what the government is saying they are going to do? Because it's just a component of the marijuana plant that can actually be used for medicinal purposes. Mr. Sowore has been going on about how you can make $1 billion from cultivating marijuana in Ondo State and all of that. Well, that's fine, but is he talking about marijuana as a plant that can actually get people high and cause them to suffer schizophrenia, or the components in it that can be used for medicinal purposes? Because the thing is, marijuana is sometimes marketed as a medicine. The perception of the drug has changed, but the basic facts about marijuana haven't changed just because it's marketed as a medicine. Mm-hmm. And while this debate over the legalization process and all of this goes on, we must remember that the cons will still outweigh the pros. In a country like Nigeria, where we don't have enough policing instance, we don't have enough government agencies to perform oversight functions.